Hey horror fans, thanks for joining me for this review of After Midnight. So as usual, cast and crew down below, and I'll start by reading the plot of this film from IMDb, so if you're not familiar with it, you can get an idea of what's going to happen here. When his girlfriend suddenly disappears, leaving a cryptic note as her only explanation, Hank's comfortable life and his sanity begin to crack. Then, from the woods surrounding his house, something terrible starts trying to break in. Alright, so here's the movie that I really didn't know a lot about. I don't know how much you guys know about it, but I was just searching through titles to look at, and the poster looked a little interesting, and then I saw Jeremy Gardner was attached to this, and I recognized his name and him from some recent movies I've seen over the last couple of years. You might know him most recently. I believe the most recent movie he did besides this one is Bliss. But he's been in several titles, so I'm like, oh, okay. So I said, let me give this a try. So really went into this blind. Not gonna really spoil too much for you here. Maybe one slight thing. I don't know. It's not that there's a huge twist or anything, but I guess from reading the plot, you can guess that there's something that's after him or waiting for him. And I'll get into that in a minute. I'm not gonna spoil too much about what that's about. But anyway, this movie's kind of like 50-50 here. And you got like 50%, kind of a love story going on here, or relationship story, and 50% horror. Not an exact breakdown there, but, that's kind of the way this movie is split. And so, you see there's scenes in the movie where they're like flashbacks or going back in time a little bit. And you see him and his girlfriend there, good moments in their relationship. You see how much they love each other. You see how much they're getting along, and you kind of see, to start, some of the good things that are happening in their relationship. As you see that, then you see other scenes of him at home, basically barricading his door because something is trying to get in, and at night, of course, most likely after midnight. But you have him there, and he's barricading the door. He has a shotgun. Something comes banging at the door every night, and you see him try to shoot it. And one scene, he kind of goes around the house and tries to sneak up on it. But early in the film, all you know is that there's something banging at the door. You don't get a look at it. He's portrayed maybe as a little crazy. Maybe it's portrayed as this is not really happening. He has a good friend that he confides in and talks to about this thing, who believes him. But again, there's still a hint of, is it really happening? Because nobody else knows what it is. This is apparently only happening to him for whatever reason. A local cop, I don't know if he was the sheriff or not, but a local cop at least, who happens to be, I believe, the brother or some relation to his girlfriend that left him, swings by, and it's not calling him crazy, but has high doubts on the story that he's telling. So you see a little bit of that going on. So you get introduced to a friend and this cop, and you see that there is some reality there to it. And so the movie kind of goes back and forth. You see a little bit of him in reality with these people. You see a little bit of him fighting off whatever it is that's coming at midnight or after midnight. And then you see these flashbacks or memories from him of their relationship. And then, what starts off all good, kind of starts off, then begins moving into maybe not everything was great, and obviously there's something wrong because she picked up and left, and you really have no clue, no point. You don't have her point of view too much until you start getting a flashback where you kind of see it in her that maybe she wasn't happy, or maybe there was something missing, or something bothering her, or there's something there, and so the movie then goes through, and I guess this is the only maybe minor spoiler in here, but she does eventually come back. So for a while there, as I'm sitting there watching, so I'm thinking that maybe she is maybe there's something not human about her. Maybe she is the horror that's at this door, that's coming every night, because you don't know. It's from his point of view, and they don't really discuss her leaving too much. You just know that she's gone. So I was thinking, oh, maybe this is one of those movies where she got turned into a creature. Maybe she's a creature from the beginning, and maybe she's gonna get you or get him. But no, it really was never that. Sorry again if that's what you were also thinking. Maybe it was just me. I don't know. But anyway, she does make a surprise comeback, and it's a little bit of awkward, but not as awkward as I would have thought. And then she actually wants to throw a birthday party there. It's her birthday, and she for on her side it's almost act like whatever, she was gone and so what. And then obviously he's not, in a way you can see he's happy that she's there, but he's a little pissed that she just left. And of course apparently she knows about this event that's happening every night, and he's like, well, you can't throw a party, you can't have people over here with this thing happening every night. She's like, well, you're a hunter, kill it, whatever, and that's it. And then night comes, and there's a scene there that takes a good chunk there of them kind of hashing things out, and you kind of see where they're really, if you do get sucked into their relationship, this is a good filler here, because it tells you, where she was, what she was doing, and what the problem is here. Again, like I said, this movie is like 50-50, or so, give or take that amount. And if you know me in the horror, that's not what I'm looking for. So, all the relationship through the movie, I know it's important to the story and so forth, important to what's going on here, important to the characters and so forth. But I really have no interest in that. I have no interest in a love story and so forth. So so those parts in the movie were a little bit of a drag for me. I understand, the point. It's part of the movie. It's part of what is happening here. It's part of setting up this ending that's coming. It kind of makes me wonder if they kind of had this ending. There's a lot of times in movies where I think, they have the final scene set in their head, and then they have to build a movie against that. And I'm wondering if this was one of those things, or it was just, just came naturally through the flow of the movie when they wrote it. But so yeah, you have to sit through the scene of them rehashing things, and then things get really interesting towards the end. Obviously, they have this party. I'm not going to spoil, what happens at this party, but this is, the big ending final scene of this movie. I guess if you pay attention to their conversation, he takes it to heart. He kind of does what she wants, and obviously, because it happens every night, that whatever is going to happen here. It is, I guess if you turn it on, you're going to know pretty point blank, there's a creature of some sorts of whatever. I'm not going to give away what it looks like, what it does, blah, blah, blah. I hopefully, telling you as a creature is not a spoiler. I apologize if it is. But I think early on in the movie you can kind of grasp that. So I would just say, it is a little weird. I wasn't overly impressed with it. If you saw my review for Dark Light, that's a movie that had a creature in it. Kind of took a different avenue, showed you the creature early on, and wasn't afraid to show it to you. And I really loved it. But that, it's a different story there. That was more of a typical horror story there. Didn't really, wasn't, about a love story. It was mostly about a mother protecting her daughter. But, again, that's another review. You can check that out. But again, the differences here is they don't show you much of the creature. There is one scene where you do get to see it, so you are aware that it is real, while everybody else thinks it's fake besides him. So you do know that it's out there and whatever. So you do know that when it's coming to this final scene, there is a creature out there. So it's just a matter of what the hell is going to happen, how are they going to end this thing. And it's a little bit of a wild scene, and I say, like I continue to say, it's love story, horror story. Basically, you get both at the end as they smash each other together there. I guess that's a good way to say it. So, much credit to Jeremy again. He's the star of this. He wrote it and directed it. He puts on a good performance here. Again, me personally, I don't really care for the love stuff. I'm more of, I want to see blood and guts. But it was fine. The way they set up the story is fine. It all makes sense. Everything that plays out is just the usual horror. People not believing him, blah blah blah. But I did like the ending scene. The ending scene was fun, a little bit different. Not quite what I expected to happen. But again, it's like kind of falls in line with what's happening here. And am I overall blown away by the creature? No, but I don't think that's the point of it here. I think I don't know what the thinking is behind the movie, but I always say they're trying to bring together a romantic side or love story side and horror together. And if that is the point of the movie, they definitely accomplished that. But so it's not about a creature and what can the creature do, and the creature is here and there and everywhere. It's not so much creature driven. Of course I would have preferred it to be that way, but again, that's me. So if you're looking for something maybe on the lighter side of a creature feature, maybe to call it that. If you're looking to maybe watch something with a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, if you're in a relationship, someone who's looking to bridge the gap between horror and love or romantic story, maybe this is one to watch. I don't know. But with that, because it's 50-50, as I continue to say, I guess I'm going to go 50-50 on this one and say 2.5 pools of blood. It was a good story and everything like that. Even though I wasn't too much into the love story, like I said, everything makes sense. The acting was good. And like I said, I could appreciate what they did at the end. I thought it was fun, a little bit unexpected. I didn't expect it to kind of conclude the way it did. So that was fun. So, again, everything's 50-50 here, and even 50-50 on the pools of blood here, splitting it in half, 2.5. So I thank you again for checking out yet another video review. And of course, if you're looking for more, you can subscribe to this channel. And also visit me at horrorgoryreviews.blogspot.com. That'll be down below along with some other information. And please, if you see this movie, feel free to comment, agree or disagree, whatever. Disagreeing is fine. Agreeing is wonderful. And so I guess that's it for this one, and I'll catch you on the next review, horror fans.